welcome everybody to another episode of Chris and Dave's Reality TV Cast. I'm one of your hosts, Chris, and my co-host and very good friend is Dave.
Hey there, Chris, and hello to our listeners out there. Welcome to Chris and Dave's Reality TV Cast. We are covering Love Island UK Season 12, Week 7. Now, Chris, where would you like to start today?
Well, Dave, we have one more week to go, and you know, usually me and you are like climbing the wall. I can't wait for this to end, but I'm not saying that I don't want it to end, because I do, because watching it 6-7 times a week but it's not felt as bad or as previous seasons where we've both been like, oh, this is doing me head in. Like, I know this week we're going to get some of these like fake relationships, but I think what's very strange is that there's nobody I'm rooting for in any of the couples, really. There's a couple of absolute dickheads like Harry, especially, and we'll talk about him, like Helena, you know. I think maybe Shakira's one of the ones who's okay, but I think when she's with Tony, they're a bit too
with
much.
Who, though?
Well, exactly, and we'll get into that. You're right, but I just think like it's got to be one of the strangest series of Love Island where we've got to like the last week, and we haven't. There's no way people are going to vote for Meg and Dejan, because I just think they're just playing the game. I don't like Meg. I think Dejan, like, he's playing the game. It was shown this week with his lack of support for Harry, even though like he's supposed to be his boy. Whatever you think of him, you think he'd back him. I think I just can't root for any of it, and that's what I'm loving. Like, they're going to try and sell us on the fucking helicopter rides and the speedboat dates and all this bollocks, and none of it's going to stick. None of it. I mean, the way he's going, Helen's going to throw Harry over the side of the speedboat. So there's no way they're going to be happily ever after, are they? So I just think it's been a great week again of just full of absolute shithouse moves, which is perfect for reality TV.
Yeah, and you're right. I hadn't really even come to the realization that we're in, you know, we're at the back of week 7. And yeah, thinking about some of the previous seasons, I mean, that fucking winter Love Island with Olivia, I think that was my low point because it was like pulling teeth. It was so dull. And basically, the post-Casa Amor recoupling, that was about the only kind of highlight I can remember from that season. Whereas this one, there are some utter bastards in this. And I think it makes it entertaining. Weirdly, earlier this week, I was thinking about EastEnders, and I was thinking, you know, when that started off, you had Den and Angie running the old Vic, and obviously Den was a bit of a womanizer, wasn't he? And coined the name Dirty Den. And I was thinking, fucking Harry, he makes Den look like regular Den. Just fucking Harry is taking it to a different level, and probably the whole nation. We'll talk about the last episode, and probably the whole nation was like, yeah, getting your comeuppance finally, getting called out. But what, for this show, and it is a show, isn't it, or a contest, whatever you want to call it, it's been fucking gold. I mean, just not giving a fuck. Now, utterly terrible example to anyone out there watching this as if it's real life and that's how you should behave. But for us who just want the drama, can't really argue with it.
No, and you know what? That's the problem, innit? You're divided because you're thinking, if that was my daughter with someone like that, you'd have had him upside down and he'd be fucking on the washing line.
Absolutely.
2 pegs holding his bollocks together, that'd be him done. You'd be like, yeah, mate, you're not coming in this house. But you're right, for the purpose of the show and the drama and everything else, he's been gold. He's been like so bad. And I think obviously the graft was his comeuppance, but as the week started, he just like, as soon, even with Angel, Shakira, there was that little bit of doubt. I'm like, he doesn't care, does he? Like, you know, we've both said, like, Helena, like, what is she doing? Why is she putting up with this? But she's not been a saint either. He has been worse than her, but she's had her moments over the show, so I don't really have a lot of sympathy for her. But like, just morally, now I'm like, this is unbelievable. Like, this guy, and I think what Harry's good at, Dave, is he does that whole narcissistical thing where he's got a very good way of turning it round on the other people. Like, even at the graft, he's trying to get people to feel sorry for him. Everything he's done, and he's trying to just it, and he does that stupid look. He's like you hit the nail on the head last week, actually. He's fucking 30. And he's like
Yeah.
looking like he's about 15 going, oh, I don't know what your problem is. And I'm like, are you for real, mate? Like, this isn't just an isolated conversation which they can edit or you're having a bit of a bad day. Like what Shakira and Tony did last week and a little bit of this one, where they're bitching about, like, you know, Helena in a, you know, a bikini or whatever, just being bitches. We all do it. We all slate people. We all like, you know, we all try and be better as you get older. But there's always times where you go, oh, bell end, you know, like at work or in real life where someone just pisses you off. It happens. We all do it. No one can sit here, myself included, and say we don't do it. We do. But Harry's stuff wasn't edited. It was just him being an absolute fuckboy, an absolute dick rider. He is out there. He's literally going to fill his boobs. He'll be sponsored by fucking Jorex by the time he gets out of here, because he's going to be on them nightclub appearances and he will be with any girl he can get. He's unbelievably thirsty. But I also saw some of the comments this week on Facebook, an absolute reality TV star now, because if he doesn't go on to other shows like, you know, Celebs Go Dating. Yeah, someone said that, like, and he's like an intervention by Paul and that on there. He's not doing it right. He's going to be probably the most popular person off the back of this show, because he'll just be getting asked to go on everything, I think.
Well, before I reflect on that, I will just say that's a new one on me. Dick rider? Is that a thing?
I think got
Is that a thing, or did you just make that up? Because that doesn't sound like he's a womanizer, if I'm honest.
No, he doesn't. What I mean, I've got that wrong. But someone who's a dick rider is where like they're being a bit of a fanboy type thing. I got that wrong, Dave. I was just kept going away with myself thinking about.
You were just riffing and you're just.
Yeah, it just didn't. It doesn't really wear that. Don't think about it too much, mate. But yeah, that's right.
I couldn't really concentrate on everything that came after that, because I was like, "The fuck's a dick rider?" It's just got this cartoon image. But anyway, let's not go further down that path, or else you're gonna have to verify your age on this podcast.
Mr. Smith at google.com. Yeah.
But sticking on the Harry, I mean, again, you said it there. He's 30, and I think the thing is, people at least usually make an effort to say, "Oh no, I'm not like that on the outside," even though they are, right? "Oh no, I've never cheated," even though they have. Whereas Harry's like, he is an expert manipulator, absolute fucking sociopathic narcissist, right? But he doesn't even give a fuck. Like, that's the difference. Like, he's not even trying to hide it. But in the moment, I think that's what his his adult life has been. Like, he's very good at talking in the moment and brushing things off, gaslighting people so they think that it's they're the problem. Saying things like, "I take accountability." No, taking accountability is not saying the words, "I'm taking accountability." It's actually taking fucking accountability for it. And he doesn't do that. He does switch it round, brush things off as if the other person has got no real reason to be upset. So, and it was just great at the Grafties, the way it all culminated. Now, you said about Helena, and I think, you know, it's okay to explore different connections and stuff. And I think Helena did a bit of that with the likes of Harrison and whatever. I don't know if that's what you're alluding to. The reason I don't really have any sympathy for her is when Harry was coupled up with Shakira, she's the one she knew exactly what he was like. She was coupled up with him before and saw all of this shit before. But I can't remember which week it was, but they were doing the whole Beavis and Butthead thing where it's like, you know, "Oh, I want to fuck you." And they're just staring at each other. "Yeah, that's cool, isn't it?" And they weren't actually having a conversation. It was just this like forced sexual innuendo. And I'm like, well, you knew exactly what it was. You knew he was a Bertie bullshitter. But I guess in your head, we were all confused, weren't we? We were like, why is she just letting him get away with this? I guess she was thinking she could grind him down, you know, just eventually she'd change him or something. Well, you don't generally change people like that. Someone like Harrison, right? Potentially, because of his age and stuff, you might say he might grow out of that. Harry's 30. There's no way. And you can see he's on a different level as well, just in terms of his manipulation of people. So, yeah, again, very conflicted because it's fucking great TV. It's kept me engrossed all week, but just terrible examples, people.
100%. And why? And also, Dave, off the back of that, and I said it before, what is Shakira doing? I mean, I'm not saying that she has to stick with Connor, but we're near the end game. They're obviously just friends now. But it was that thing, like, what has Harry got? There's got to be something that he's got. I mean, and the obvious thing is to be a smart ass and say maybe it's down his budgie smugglers. But I don't get why they're all thirsty for this guy. Because I just think like we've seen it now. And even that whole thing was a setup when they walked past each other. When Harry walked off, who looked like, to be fair, he was going to the last fucking supper with the apostles, Dave, or the disciples, the way he was fucking dressed. I don't know what that outfit is. That outfit is ridiculous. If the girls still like him when he's dressed like some middle-aged fucking, well, I say we're middle-aged. I don't dress like that, Dave. But some pensioner who's on holiday on an all-inclusive. He's got the Jesus
middle
sandals
age has
on.
changed. It's gone up 20 years now.
He's moved forward, Dave. He's 66, not 46. There's no way I'd be wearing something like that. He looks like a right bellend, doesn't he? He looks like the man from Del Monte. He's like, and he's there doing this whole like puppy dog thing, and he walks past her in the corridor. That was a complete setup, wasn't it? And she goes past, and I'm thinking, there's these two, Dave. I mean, I said Harry was going to win it, and I'm still, maybe it's Shakira that is the one, because that's going to be the play now. The next couple of days, him and Shakira are going to kiss. 100%. Reality Radar, back on form, Dave. I mean, I've not hit one thing wrong yet, but that is definitely coming.
Fucking worse than Harry used. Reality Radar. So, I don't know, because the way I read it, Shakira, again, I think she's more mature than her years sort of indicate. And I know people say that, she's not very nice, she's not nice to Meg, but I don't know. I just see there's different camps there. And I think with Harry, she obviously has caught feelings for him, but I don't think at any point in any conversation she's been like, oh yeah, I want to get back with him. She's still, the thing is, Harry, again, he's just got that gift of the gab. He can say what people want to hear. That's a learned skill, I think. And so she's sort of fallen for it, and she's not really able to completely detach from it. So I think even though Shakira still has feelings for Harry, she also can see her logical part of her brain, is saying this guy's a dick. There's no way. In that conversation when they were on the stairs, all of the flirty side was coming from Harry. It wasn't coming from Shakira.
That's true. But Dave, this is Love Island.
Yes, that's also true.
Don't be speaking logically. With reasonable, and you're right. It's all reason what you've said. It all makes perfect sense. There's going to be a play. There's got to be a play. There's no reason that she would bring this, because obviously Connor's now sort of with Megan, who's come back in, like with Megan and Blue. I mean, Dave, I did think of Joe this week, pissing myself laughing. Where was Tommy, Dave? The most popular contestant, and they don't bring him back. Oh, that's a shame, isn't it? You know what I mean? But
bye.
That's a good song. Very good song that last week, man. But it's true though, isn't it? Like Blue, he must be related to someone on the production, because what a non-contestant he is. Absolute waste of fucking time. And then, I mean, Megan's coming and stirred a bit of shit, hasn't she? She's, she has said stuff and that, and then she's even brought up about when they were doing the grafties regarding Harry, saying like, "Oh, this is going to be good," because they've seen everything, haven't they? They've seen like the perception of him, and I think there's no denying what we've seen. And like I said, we can't just keep over egging Harry, but I just thought like watching it was sort of like popcorn, like TV. We were sat on Friday night going, "Yes, he's come up," and it wasn't like you were touching your phone. It was like, "No, this is right." But then you get to, we see people online going, "Oh, I think it's a bit too much, though. You've got to watch out for," and you do have to watch out. I get that. You've got to watch, because we've been there before with other contestants and framing them and the way that they're edited and that is not a good thing. And they've got to have that sort of aftercare. Totally with all that. But I think just if you watch it for that villain, then Harry has just played it brilliantly. But I was shocked, Dave, by Dejan. He just completely went the other way, didn't he? He was like, "Oh shit, I'm in it for the win here," and he didn't really back him, which thought was interesting. And even Connor was calling him out. Connor was having none of it. I think they all felt a bit let down by him. But so I don't know where he's going to go this week at all. I don't know whether they're going to ostracize him and he's going to be sat on the fucking daybed and everything and all that crap, which he did anyway, and he's that feels sorry for me thing. I don't know. But at the moment, I can't see any other way than Harry being booted out. I really can't.
What? Not Harry for the win then?
Yeah, no, I'm just saying. I'm just speaking out loud, Dave. Obviously, if he does win, then
you generally do speak out loud, but
sure.
You're on fire today. So
some of these, I'm pulling them from nowhere. I don't know.
Right, let's go back to one point that you raised there. Then, so Meg and Blue coming in, I was laughing. I mean, if I was to be a conspiracy theorist, which let's put that out of the way, well, yeah, fuck it, I am. I mean, Meg was divisive, let's say that. But there is a big following in Ireland, isn't there? So you've got Connor still left in there. Meg was probably popular over there as well. So I can see the rationale for bringing Megan in. I just don't get it with Blue. I mean, he said there, does he know someone? He clearly backs himself with the confidence of fucking Brad Pitt or something. But I just don't get it. And I think he's a tool as well. I mean, I don't particularly like Tony. However, in that conversation, where he pulled her over, and I think after the post-grafties, wasn't it? He pulled her because he's like, oh, yeah, just, you're a nice girl and stuff, so I just want to sort it out. But she's clearly not bothered. And it's like, you weren't here, you've just come in, you're chucking your oar in, keep your fucking nose out. So in that situation, I was more on Tony's side. And he was just getting more and more angry in the conversation. He was just like, no, sit there while I give you my opinion on you. So, yeah, I just think he's a fucking tool. I have no idea why he's back in.
No, honestly, and I think even when he had a pop at Tony, I'm with you. I was like, I don't get it. And we haven't really talked about this day, but where do you stand with, like, Tony and Shakira? Because, I don't mind them, and I think they've called out a lot of the girls, but I did notice this week the edit wasn't kind to him, but Tony just seems to be there, and I don't know how she stayed in, if I'm honest. I don't know what's going on there, because she's trying to stay in, but I think now her time is gone, but I just think...
Well, you say that, but I mean, she didn't just stay in, she got like one of the most popular girl votes.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, I don't get it. This might be an age thing, right? This could be one of those where, because of the demographic, I mean, we're probably on the upper end. Maybe it's younger people, like, empathize with her more. For me, the thing that set me off on a path of not really liking her behavior was the whole Harrison thing, and, the portrayal that she's this really strong, powerful, independent woman, but she just runs back to this blatant fucking liar. Actually, it's not even that he's lying as such, but he was blatantly, like, exploring all different connections, and then she gives it all the talk, and then she just backs it up 0%. So that just makes me think, well, you're not true to your word. But then also, I didn't really like the way, like, when they all came back after Casa Amor, the way she treated Cash was off, or not on. I didn't like that. And then now, it's like all of that's forgotten on her terms, So I think I'm not really a fan. However, I could see why other people would be neutral to her. I don't understand why she'd be so popular, though.
Yeah. It's not like like Shakira, I can sort of see because she's been that character from the start, hasn't she? She's played who she is. That's her. She's not played, but that's who she is. So everything you see is what you get, right or wrong. Whereas with Tony, I'm like, well, I've questioned what's the point of her being there because she's going back to Las Vegas, the greatest city in the world, Dave. But she's going back there. She's not here for love. What's she going to do? She's not married and going to end up on a council estate in the middle of Manchester somewhere, is she? So it's sort of like bullshit. You're here for what you can get, and there's nothing wrong with that. But why the audience aren't seeing through it, I don't know. Maybe it's because the other girls have been a bit worse. Maybe it's that. I don't know. It's been a strange season with these characters, isn't it? Because we've literally got 3 or 4 people who are single at the moment. And it's like, that's weird. There's got to be a cull of the contestants this week. There has to be.
Yeah. And one of our exclusive couples, obviously, Harry and Helena, predicted by the reality radar to win. Probably not going to last it, I'm going to say. But I don't know. Like say, it's Love Island. What do you reckon, though? Because I think one of the reasons for the people who don't like Shakira and Tony together and sort of label them mean girls and whatever, it's like the stuff they'll say about Megan and Helena and whatever. Obviously, Megan and Dijon. I mean, I can't help but feel I'm kind of in their camp, really, in Shakira and Tony's camp. There is no spark there. It's just weird. I do get a feeling Dijon's playing a game, and I don't like Megan's approach to things. Like she's one of those people that properly looks down the nose at you, and so I think that's maybe why I don't have more sympathy. But Megan, Dijon, what do you reckon is that to that as a couple?
I'm not buying it. I've not bought it from the start. I think it's nonsense. I think they're the only couple who are really a couple, if we can call them that. But I don't believe that any of it is true. I think, like, we've seen it before. You look, any relationship, it just works. And I know, like, Dejan got called out for the way he was, like, speaking and everything. And he's like, I've been exclusive for, like, 2 weeks here. That's fine. But it's just every time he's not with her, just acts like, and that's not just on him, because I don't like the way she speaks to people. I think, like, she's so, like, ready. She's always ready to argue, isn't she? She's always on the back foot. She snipes as bad as Tony and Shakira do, I think. That's what it is, really. And I think she's been bad. The last couple of weeks, she's not been as bad. It feels as if she's having a bit of a good edit. But let's not kid ourselves. She's been a pain in the arse in this show. But I also think he's not been able to enjoy himself at times. She has tried to stifle him. It's sort of like, that's it. I don't know. I'm just not buying they're not authentic, and I'm not buying that it's real. I just think they'll be, within a month or so, they're going to be, we've gone our separate ways, or maybe even on the plane back. But there's no way there's any length or thing in this relationship at all.
Yeah. So I think, again, not to come back to the conspiracy theory, but going back to Connor and Meg, I mean, her coming in was almost the perfect time for Connor, wasn't it? Because Shakira, he was picking up vibes from Shakira that she wasn't really feeling it. She wasn't into the relationship, really. And they'd started off as being close friends and whatever, but they never really went through that lovey-dovey early stuff, did they? They sort of went to sniping very quickly and arguing and whatever. But I think with Meg and Connor, I could see them going top 3 for sure. Because I don't think you can vote from Ireland, can you, for the UK Love Island? So that might have been interesting if you could, mind you, jump on a VPN. Maybe you can. But
not verifying, Dave.
But there seems to be a lot more chemistry with those two than there ever was with Shakira and Connor.
Yeah, I'm with you. I am, because before she left, and it was a shock the way she left, wasn't it? There was that talk of they looked happy together, didn't they? I mean, he didn't follow her, but they weren't in a relationship, but they did look like there was something there, a little bit of chemistry. And obviously, geographically as well, that would work, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Because you're thinking, well, they're both in Ireland, they're not, I mean, it's Southern Ireland as well, Dublin area they're from, so it would work. Yeah, I don't know. I think even going into this last week, I said before, like, what are they going to do now? They've got a pull about 3 or 4 people straight away. They've got to go within the first couple of episodes, and then we're going to get the love story stuff. But the producers must be shitting themselves because they must be thinking, how are we going to convince the audience to vote for these people? Like, we're going to end up with, Dave, like Thingy who won it, Amber. Whoever's with Shakira or maybe even Tony is going to win it by default. So is there going to be a bombshell come in that's just conveniently just going to make a play for him? Because if I was a guy coming in now and you were single and you're looking at it, you're thinking, well, we know who the most popular contestants are, Shakira or Tony. Let's make a play. And that would be the win, like Greg did when he did it with Amber. He came in and took the money and run in, and they didn't last very long. That's the only thing I can see. I can't see any compatibility between anybody. And if as soon as I see Dejan and Meg going on one of them fucking stupid dates, I am literally going to record that episode and fast forward it. I'm not watching that shit at all. I'm just not believing that nonsense. And that's not being awful. It's just a bullshit.
Feel the rage coming back. Actually, I'm saying about how much I'm enjoying this season, and then you've just planted my mind in that on the fucking boat or something, talking about how great they are together, and it's such bullshit. But I mean, if I think about the formal couples at the minute, so Shakira's still coupled up with Connor. You got Helena and Harry. So both of those couples are fucking nowhere, are they? You got Meg and Dejan. So they will stay together. They'll be there to the end. Right. And it doesn't matter what Meg sees actually at Dejan, because let's face it, what was the girl a few seasons ago who went fucking mental at everything that she saw when someone, if someone wasn't a saint? Was it Faye?
Oh, the blonde girl, Faith. She was in Devon once, or Cornwall or something.
Yeah, it was something like that. And Christ almighty, she'd gone mental at some of the stuff that Dejan had done. But Meg seems to be able to just brush that off, because he is very flirty outside of the couple, isn't he? I think that's what you were alluding to before. But they'll kind of see it through to the end, but I can't see them being very popular. You got Yasmin and Jamie. I think with a bit more screen time, we could get, a bit more invested in this last week. And then you got Angel and Ty. So I think they, could come in on the outside, maybe at least make that top 3 or get a decent run. Again, they need the screen time for that. And then, of course, Cash and Tony are not currently formally coupled up together, but they will be a couple. And I can't see, even if Tony's dream bloke comes in, I mean, she's not going to be daft enough now that's this close to the end to explore that, I wouldn't have thought. So I think depending on the screen time in this last week, I think it could go a few different ways. It literally is in the hands of the producers, I'd say.
Yeah, I think so. And hopefully they've got a lot of things right this series, haven't they? They've got a lot of, like, some of the games, the way that some of the twists, I've actually enjoyed that. I've enjoyed the different things, the way they've approached. They've had to, and I'm not saying they haven't done it in other series and that, because I know the Love Island US is having a massive resurgence. Like, everyone's just raving about how good that series was. But I think maybe they're understanding the way the world is being a little bit more cute, pointing towards the audience, sort of breaking the fourth wall sometimes. Going, yeah, we know what's going on. We know they're blagging it. We know they're in it for influence and stuff. Let's just fuck with them while we can. And I think that's what's been enjoyable, that they have sort of almost nodded to people like ourselves who are just sick of all the nonsense, even though we watch every episode of like, none of this is true. So I think that's a good thing, this series. And it is, because we I can say, I won't say the 7 weeks has flown by, but it's been a lot more bearable than what we normally used to about this stage of Love Island. Whether it falls off a cliff this next week, I don't know. But it's been good. It's been really good. But Dave, I've got to say, there's a feature we've got, on Spotify. And I've got to read this out. I should have read it out last week. I'm pissing myself. So you've got a comment section now. So it's a bit like Facebook where you can comment on, the episodes and that. And we had a couple of things last week, Dave, when you got the wrong people who knew each other. And me. Yeah. But anyway, there's a comment from one of our listeners, Harriet, and I absolutely love this comment. I'll read the whole thing. It says, last year they had a sleepover with Joey, Grace, Uma, and Will, and 2 others. Georgia is the brother of the footballer, and he's still in the show. Her name is Yasmin, not Jasmine. And then she put, the research on this podcast is so shit, laugh out loud. And I say to you, Harriet, I agree. I did reply, but also what research, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I did blame you. My comment was, I agree the research is non-existent. Blame Dave. I do. And then I put cheers for listening. But I just been pissing myself at that. The research on these podcasts is so shit. Yeah, because there isn't any. That's why, Harriet. So thank you for the comment. But if you're not on Facebook, Chris Israelis, if you want a comment and you've got Spotify, then do drop a comment, because I do read them all and I will respond to them. So brilliant, some great comments about the show and that. And obviously calling us out, Dave, and it's usually me with the incorrect information, but not a lot of support for the reality radar though, Dave. That's quite interesting.
It's such a Rick from the young ones response, though, isn't it? So
yeah.
The research can't be bad because there is none. So there. Amazing stuff.
Oh, brilliant, brilliant. So thank you, mate. Anything else before we go?
No, I think that's it. Like I say, I mean, I was really, coming into this conversation, I was really, looking forward to this week. And then you've just reminded me and grounded me and thought, oh, we're going to have to fucking run in now, aren't we? We're going to have, again, the ghost of the baby game, maybe, apparently it made a reappearance back on the US one. I hope they're not going to reintroduce that one, but we're going to see the final run in for the last dates, probably the talent show, I guess. So all those, we're into the final run in now, aren't we? So probably it's in the back of the drama. But that said, I mean, where's the Harry stuff going to go? I don't know if this is going to be a normal last week thing. I think it could still have a bit of drama left in it.
Yeah, that's got to conclude one way or the other. Well, you're right, actually. And you've just ruined it for me now, the fucking talent game. Oh, my God. Someone's going to get an accordion out playing the EastEnders theme again, some nonsense. Dave, ruined it for me now.
They'll never beat Millie with a fucking little organ thing.
No, and that was like genuine. But since then, they've just played up to it, haven't they? Just get someone to play a keyboard out a tune or whatever it is. It's just Like, anyway, if you want to email us, cdrealitycast@gmail.com. If you want to follow us on social media @cdrealitycast. If you do want to support us, please get over to patreon.com/cdrealitycast. And as I said before, Facebook, Chris and Dave's Reality TV Cast. Big thank you to Charlene as always. And if you catch the episodes, we're on YouTube again @CD Reality Cast. So whichever way you listen to the podcast, and that we do really appreciate it. So the roll call of honour for today, and a big thank you to Mel, Holly, Darren, Anna, Tilly, Marcy, Stacey, Sinead, Kathleen Sims, Nick, Danielle, Amanda, Larissa, Nicola, Gillian, Keith, Helen, Chloe, Joanna, Libby, Susan, Tracy, Lucky Lula Green, Edgar Starson. So thank you so much, guys, for your support. Amazing stuff. And Dave, we're nearly towards the end of it, and I'm going to say them dreaded words. We've probably got one more episode left. I don't know what we're doing next, but I'll have something in my back pocket for us, my friend.
It's usually Maths UK is starting up about now, isn't it? Or
Emily, yeah. It's about September. I think we've got about 5 or 6 weeks this time. Last time it was pretty close, but I think...
And I'll do my usual, let's fucking finish one season. Before we start the next one. So, but yeah, usually I think Maths does tend to start, so maybe doing that one. But let's see, Chris. But thank you very much, sir. Thanks to all our listeners out there. Thanks to all our supporters. And we'll speak to you next time.
Bye.